I see these photographs as a small collage. The two pictures of my grandparents were interesting. I thought both men looked handsome, and both women looked matronly.
I never met him, but I learned later that he was an architect and a builder. Obviously, that is in my DNA. I never understood that until 5 years ago when I found out and photographed the building he designed and built in Ashtabula, Ohio. Thank you, Grandpa Campesano. Grandma Fabrizia Campesano, you and I were very close. You were the reason I began to sew and design clothing. You inspired me with your advice and philosophy about people and attitudes. You wrote to me in Italian and helped me find my way in Italy. I always thought I was your favorite grandchild, but later learned about part of your generosity. We all, 9 of us, thought we were your favorites.
There are 2 of the very few photos of my grandfathers. Both of them had died before Mom and Dad were married. The photo of grandparents Campesano was framed on the dresser of my parents' bedroom in Phoenix.
But Mom loved you
Grandma Adeline, worn, old before her time, fertile, long-lived. What did they think on a daily basis until she died at 91? I never knew Dan nor Vincenzo. Dan had a scoundrel, devilish, playful smile, like Uncle Pat, like Jimmy.
Because I felt both of my grandmothers
Who's in the
were
photographer's shadow?
Wonderful women. I felt they were the strength and foundation of our families. Genetics are interesting.
I love the
3
satin
generations
cuff on
later,
Grandma C's sleeve.
I see a lot of Mary and
Fritz and Vincenzo's
Campesano
face.
and Kim.
One day when our son
had
Chris
so
was
few
about
children.
4 or 5, we were in the room
He
with
loved
Dad
her,
as he was sitting on the
admired
bed
her
putting on his
for
shoes.
something different.
Chris, I felt, was going to be short. Grandpa Campesano was only about 5'6", but built strong. Chris was also strongly built. I wanted to take a parental opportunity to prepare him to be short. He asked who was in the photo. I told him I believed he was going to be built strong like grandfather, short but strong. He took a moment, looked at the photo and said, "Fine, but I want a neck." Dad almost fell off the bed laughing. Chris ended up being 5'11" and strongly built. Last thought.
Grandma Cipriani,
I always felt my dad was one of the best-looking men I knew. His dad, I never knew, but was better looking.
You were a wonderful grandmother. I didn't know you well and couldn't communicate well because of the language barrier, but I respected you supremely.
In the first picture, I see Dad as a toddler. He is sitting in what I assume are his play clothes, holding an American flag.
Fortunato
Maybe
Pasquale
because this is
Campesano,
Memorial Day weekend.
at roughly the same age as I am in
this was
Fritz's
taken
wedding.
on a national
The
holiday.
2 to 3
picture of a
years
young
old.
child, perhaps 2 years old,
I
holding
assume
an
this was
American
taken on
flag
the
is my
front
dad.
porch of his home in
I
Ashtabula,
know this Dad
Ohio.
only because I was told
The
so.
year would be 1918,
I think it was Dad who
1919.
told me. Looking
I
at
try to
it,
think
and
about
not
how
knowing
many
the dress
stars
of children of the
Fortunato
era,
Pasquale
represents on the
Campesano.
American flag he's holding.
He looks so much
His
like an
parents,
immigrant baby.
Vincenzo and Mariana, are
Can
not
you
yet
imagine
US
what his
citizens.
parents
Therefore,
went through so that they
at the
and
moment
we
this
could
photo was
have the
taken,
American dream?
my father's an Italian citizen, according to the laws of that still young
He ended up fighting in World War II
nation.
for the U.S. and for that
It is
dream
one of the
of
most
freedom
stunningly
and
beautiful
equality for
photographs in
all.
my collection.
I wonder
The
what
focal
his thoughts would be about our current
composition,
immigration
Those lines
situation.
of the flag
Since
stripes.
both my
Would he
grandparents
identify with the
immigrated from
hardworking
Italy,
Mexican migrants
he is a
my
first
father's
generation
gaze.
Italian American.
His feet and little hands,
One of my
one in an
grandparents
almost
probably put a
Athenian
flag in
gesture
his hand
or Buddhist
because of their
movement.
pride at being new
If
What
you
about
look
the
closely,
citizens.
the area around
There seems
Dad's
to be a
mouth, the
foreshadowing
ridges
of
between his nose
patriotism
and upper
he would
lip,
later
and
show
the
in
cleft on his
serving his
chin
country
remained
during
his
World War
features his
II.
whole life.
The oldest son.
I would bet this was taken on the
He was
front
given the
porch of
name
the old family
Fortunato,
home in Ashtabula.
which means the fortunate one.
The flag would suggest a national holiday. I would think the 4th of July, 1919, would be right. Dad would have been about 22 months old, and that looks like a 2-year-old.
It
The
reminds
thing
me
that
of
affects me the
great-grandma
most about this photo
Fabrizio,
is Dad's eyes.
big grandma,
They are
who is
clear,
the matriarch of the
focused,
family,
innocent, and
pronounced
intelligent.
that her
It is
job
the
was
intelligence
to leave
that is
Italy
most impressive
and bring her
to me.
children to the USA.
Even at 2, you can tell this
Her
is a
children's
very bright
jobs were
child.
to educate their children at least through high school. Her grandchildren's jobs were to make sure that her great-grandchildren graduated from college. We did not fail her. I wonder what job she would have assigned to us.